I have to gather my thoughts here. What did we just see? It was triggering so many things. Now you may notice that I'm actually a bit of a fan. So there were a lot of references there, a lot of Easter eggs. This is all bringing back the story of the first trilogy, the first 3 movies, and then it is kind of rebooting it. So there's a resurrection, but it's also like a reboot, a restart. You see, like I think this was another Morpheus, like a younger version, which kind of reminds me of the switcheroo that they did with the Oracle, because the actress who played the first version of the Oracle died, and she had to be replaced. They took a completely different looking actress, and she said, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles here in the Matrix. So why wouldn't they bring back a different Morpheus? What I love is that Morpheus, actually named after, I think, was it the God of Dreams? He's still apparently an important character here. Again, a guiding character to help Keanu's character Neo see that the world in which he believes is not the real world. So you get that same, in a way, this is an iteration, a reiteration of the very first movie. But then, of course, they have to give it a twist. It can't be the same story. This is not a remake. This is a sequel. So let me go through some of the images here. So this, again, my theory here is that we see another version of the Matrix. This is like an upgraded new software, new rendering engine for this kind of Matrix. It looks a bit more colorful, but it's still very fake. It looks like a video game. And then we get this. I love this. We get to see the cat. Now this, of course, and the cat on the desk is a reference to the cat that we see when Neo has his first deja vu. You know, when he's like, I've seen this cat before, and it's usually when there's a glitch in the Matrix, when the reality that he takes for granted is about to break. So of course this image has even more clues that something is about to break and something is about to be freed from his shackles. Notice in the background the 2 butterflies. Butterflies are symbols of transformation, have even been used as a kind of a metaphor of the resurrection. You know, it's like death is like a cocoon, and then you are reborn as a renewed being in a certain way. So, for instance, Jesus after resurrection, he is still the same Jesus, and at the same time, people don't recognize him because he's still kind of transformed by the resurrection. So I think that's what these butterflies are meaning in the background. And then on the table, you see this statue, this head of marble with the brains, kind of also giving us a clue that all this is happening inside your brain. This is your brain being manipulated or being kept captive by the machines. And then you've got these orbs. That's probably also signifying kind of this closed world, as you're locked inside. I don't know, I can't really tell what's inside of there, but it looks like something blue. So I think this is also symbolizing that the blue reality, the blue pill reality, is actually imprisoned in a glass container that you have to break to escape from. All this in the first image, or the second image of the trailer. That is quite something. I'm sure there are more details in the background, but let's move on. Then we go to this character who's sitting in a chair, clearly nervous, and I'm wondering, is this already Neo? Because he's got a different name. Now, of course, that can also be that in this version, in this resurrected state in the Matrix, he's just given a new identity, and his past Neo existence has been erased from his memory. But I guess that's all coming back to him. This I love. You see the psychologist who has blue glasses, and it's this very particular translucent blue that reminds us of the blue pill. So what I think is happening here is that he has these recurring dreams, of course, reminiscences of his life as Neo in the previous Matrix stories, and he's wondering, is this real or is this not real? Am I going crazy? And so this psychologist or psychiatrist is going to prescribe him blue pills to keep his sanity, to keep him in this world, to prevent him from moving over to what he thinks is a dream world, but is actually the the real world. So that's the kind of the evil part of the machines. They try to make you believe that what is real is a dream, and that what is a dream is actual, or a virtual reality is reality itself. Okay. You've got a nice lamp in the background with a triangle. Could that also evoke the all-seeing eye, which is sometimes, depicted inside a triangle? Maybe referring to the machines actually watching all this, because we know that the machine actually knows everything that happens. It's kind of like this godlike entity that knows exactly what's happening inside the matrix that it created itself. But maybe I'm pushing the metaphors a bit too much. Then we get to see a glimpse of the actual dream that Neo has, where he's standing in this night scene. But as we know, Neo can see through the matrix. He can see the code behind it, and that's why we see all of a sudden this whole nightlife, this bustling city transform into code. And let's see. And this is very much the same kind of greenish code that we know. So we know that this is still the Matrix as we know it. It's still a fabrication by machines. And then we get this transformative picture. Where is this happening? I think it's right here. Yeah. So here we actually go through this. This is the first time we actually go through these lines. You remember when Neo in the first movie is being interrogated, and right before the interrogation scene, we fly through the lines of the monitors, the security monitors. This is that same movement. So we're actually moving with him through the matrix, and we're going to, or back to the fake reality here. And then what is the next thing we see? We see someone firing a bullet, and we don't know what it is, but look at the eyes. Clearly a bad guy, clearly an agent, because he's got coding. And I missed this when I first saw the trailer. He is catching the bullet. Talking about bullet time, he's just grabbing the bullet straight from the air. And maybe that's a reflex. Maybe that's how he discovers that there's more going on than just a dream. This is something he can do. Then what happens next? We get to see a scene. What is this? Let me just play this again. We see a handshake. I'm not sure what that means, but there is light. Here we see a lot of glimpses. So we see, this is I think Morpheus. Yeah, I think so. The ring. Then we're back with the psychologist. Again, you see the blue butterfly in the background. You see this lamp in the distance? That looks like a warrior almost, like a soldier with a sword, maybe referring to Neo as the protagonist of the story. Who knows? So we see these flashbacks, these glimpses of his past. I'm just reacting to the visuals here. This is also what they did in the Matrix when they started to use the usual openings of the movies, but then giving it this green hue, so you knew that this was already kind of part of a like when you're watching the movie, you're actually stepping into a type of Matrix, into an alternate reality. It's just a movie, but it's kind of the same idea. You're stepping into a world for a few hours. I remember that since the Matrix, all movies started to do that. They started to modify these logos and give them, make them more kind of fit with the overall theme of the movie that we were about to see. Now, this is a bathtub. He's clearly in a very nice, luxurious apartment somewhere in, I think this is LA, San Francisco, maybe not. The little duck, not sure about that. If you have any theories, by the way, if you understand this, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your theories. But he's in this bathtub. This also is a strong symbol of rebirth. This refers to baptism. And when you see water and someone immersed in water in a story, remember the trailer a while ago from the upcoming Wheel of Time series? The trailer starts with a baptism because the is it Egwene? She's pushed off by Nynaeve into a pool, and that's the beginning of her new journey. So baptism there too. Here, I think this is Neo kind of awakening and being washed off. The fake reality is going to be washed off. He's going to emerge from the waters as a new him, a Neo. All right. And then we see a handshake, and this is where we get to see what's her name? Sorry, her name escapes me for a second. Trinity. And Trinity also does not remember who she is. She's meeting him for the first time in a very different setting from the first meeting that they ever had. But that was kind of this leathery grunge bar somewhere underground. Looked very, very gritty. Here it's in a I think it's a coffee shop, so it's like a Starbucks. So it's all like this is a totally different version of Trinity. There's nothing left of this grungy underground figure. Here she is, like, established, probably has a good job, is very, and she's having a Starbucks. That's very different from what we saw in the first movie. I love that. This is interesting. You see the handshake. You see this hesitation. Do we know each other? She wears this very elaborate iron bracelet, which also almost looks like handcuffs. So maybe this is deliberate. Maybe this is to show that she's actually a prisoner as well. And I'm still wondering about the overall idea. How can we see both Trinity and Neo here, since they both died at the end of the third movie? So they somehow, maybe they were preserved inside the Matrix. How are they going to transfer to the real world? Will they get another body? Is that the resurrection? Is the resurrection going to take place in Morpheus' real world? It's going to be interesting, because already in the existing movies we saw that there is this relationship between the Matrix and the real reality, and that some stuff that happens in the Matrix can have an effect, a physical, tangible effect on what is happening in reality. Maybe that is going to be how they will bring back Trinity and Neo in the real world as well. Maybe the Matrix itself is able to, or maybe something is at play that is beyond the Matrix and the reality that we saw so far, that is able to merge the two. I don't know. Plenty of enigmas in this trailer. So, have we met before? And then he's like, maybe not. We see him taking the blue pills as a medication. I think that's brilliant. It's a great way to kind of introduce that. This eye, whose eye is that? Is it? Well, apparently it's Keanu Reeves' eye, but the lighting is very different from this scene where he's looking in the mirror. But here he's clearly doubting his own reality. He's looking at, like, who am I watching? Is this truly me? Is there something beyond the mirror? Something that we've all sometimes wondered after reading too much science fiction, Is there a reality inside the mirror? Great material for horror movies as well, where there usually is. All right, so what's going on? Then he's looking at the sky. Again, this can have two meanings, I think. So this looks like New York, actually. You see the building on the left side? That looks like that triangular building in one of the streets of New York City, or downtown Manhattan. We see, on the right, Corky's massage. That looks a little bit underground there. And there is like an axe. I don't think that's going to be a very comfortable massage. But he's looking up at the sky, so he's looking from the where he may have been just fixated on the world below, symbolized maybe by the massage parlor, and he's looking up to the sun. That's symbol number one, and then to the birds. But these are not just regular birds. I think these are sparrows, and you know that sparrows are forming all these patterns in the sky. They fly, it's synchronized, and it creates these just mesmerizing patterns. I've seen them so many times when I was still studying in Rome, and it almost looks like they're drones, which maybe is what helps him remember that maybe the reality that he sees is not real, that there is a pattern to it, that this is almost the sparrows could be a sign that this can't be natural, which is kind of what sparrows sometimes tend to do, these big flocks. There's like, am I really watching this? But he's also looking at the sun, which of course symbol of the resurrection, right? Symbol of Christ, a new life. Open your eyes, let the sun inside the darkness, etc. So many reasons for them to include this particular image. This is the moment that he sees the light, literally. He's trying to shield the sun so he can see the patterns better. Maybe there's something weird going on with the birds that awakens him, that reminds him of something. Who knows? And then, this is interesting too, what they do in the trailer. So, we've just seen the awakening of Neo, right? So, he has seen the light. He starts to realize, I'm in a prison. I am in the Matrix. And then he's looking around and everyone else is in the Matrix, is still a prisoner. And the way they symbolize this is, for us, of course, super recognizable because everybody's watching their cell phone or their tablet. So this is kind of our metaphor, our language to express, this virtual world that we step into every time we scan our social media feeds. We step into a matrix, a kind of matrix, and sometimes people even feel that they are kept prisoner by this not a fake reality, but by this different reality that's inside their little cell phone. So, and he's the only one who does not look at a screen. He has no headphones on, so he is free. He finally sees that these people are imprisoned. Maybe the bars on the back of the elevator, not the elevator, the lift, are also symbolizing prison bars. Who knows? Anyway, and then we get to see a transparent floor, apparently, and there are more people, or maybe this is a mirror. Yeah, this is probably a mirror. I think we're looking at a mirror in the ceiling. So even where normally you would have glass, you would have a window to see the sky. It is a mirror reflecting back the reality that you're in. So this mirror creates this claustrophobic, like there is no escape. We're imprisoned. This, by the way, fantastic cinematography. This entire trailer gives me high hopes for the quality of this movie. It looks amazing, the colors. And what I also really enjoy is that we don't get to see that green hue anymore. This time, the predominant color seems to be blue, signifying the people that are imprisoned, and yellow, which seems to be the warmth, maybe the love that has freed Neo. Who knows? All right. And then he looks upwards. He looks at himself. Then we see Neo with a hat. He gets offered, I think, more blue pills. No, that's just him. He's looking in the mirror. He's standing there with the blue pills in his hand, and he's looking at himself in the mirror, just like a few moments ago. And he's like, this is not me. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then he throws away the blue pills. This is his moment, like, I want to be free. He steps into a bar. There's someone reading Alice in Wonderland, which, of course, is kind of the quintessential archetype story that is used for the Matrix saga, for the entire concept of the Matrix. And this, I wonder, this could be the Oracle, don't you think? This looks typically like this somewhat older lady who is going to reveal to him that yes, his instincts are correct. He is in the Matrix. Notice that she has this golden hue, which we associate with the sunlight. And then she has, look at her dress. There's blue and red. So she is in between these two realities. The colors of her clothes express that she knows both these realities, the real world, red pill, and the fake world, the virtual world, blue. And then there's white and black, which of course opposites, bad, evil, yin yang. I mean, it's the whole, it all depends on the choices you make. That's what I did. So I'm just kind of freewheeling here. I did not expect there to be so much hidden in this trailer, but whoa, fascinating. All right, let's move on. There's also this enigmatic smile. It's like she knows more than she says. which is the frustrating aspect of the Oracle. And then we get this haunting scene where Neo is looking in the mirror, and he sees a different version of himself, an older guy. We don't know exactly who that is, but this is clearly a mirage. This is not truly him. This is maybe the moment that he realizes that the image that he used to see is not truly him. And then it morphs into Keanu, which, again, I love the morphing because that's something that was from the first movie. You know, when he takes the red pill, there is this mirror, and the mirror shatters and shows him that his reality is actually super distorted, and he has to go through the mirror, or he has to become one with the mirror to what you have all that symbolism that comes back here. And then with all this blue background light, you see shadows, and you see this beam of light directed to Neo. Almost again, it's like this heavenly light of enlightenment. He has seen the light, and it's symbolized by the red pill, by a younger Morpheus. He has the same glasses, and Morpheus is wearing a red shirt. Again, you can't make it more obvious that he is someone from the real world. Take the red pill, and you will finally see what has been kept from you for all this time. And then, of course, he takes the red pill. Apparently, he could also choose the blue pill. Then we see probably New York or a cityscape, and we see the White Rabbit back again as a tattoo, just like in the first movie. We know exactly this is kind of course, a character from Alice in Wonderland, and you have to follow the rabbit in order to step into this wondrous world. And so that probably also reminds him of something. Now, this is, of course, very obvious, strong symbolism of a door that opens to a new reality. You've got the light shining from the door. It's raining, which is a nice detail, because in the first Matrix movie, which was filmed in Sydney, Australia, it was raining all the time. By the way, I visited Sydney twice. And the second time I went with friends to all the locations where they filmed the first Matrix movie, which was surreal. I was like, there was this tunnel, remember, when it's like raining super heavily, and that was very close to my hotel. And then there's this this square with the fountain where I think it's Neo. He freezes the simulation. And you have all these twins walking around there. And I was standing there at the same, and it looks just like in the movies. So visiting Sydney is visiting the set of The Matrix. I don't think they filmed this in Sydney, but I always remember. And they even pointed me at the one of the bigger office buildings that they used for Neo's office, or his workplace. It's all there for real. All right. And then he steps through the door. Assumingly, this is the next thing we see. He follows the White Rabbit into, well, still not reality, but it's definitely a different part of the. This makes it clear that this is not real, because normally you can't step through mirrors. I love how they do the rippling effect, which we also saw in the first movie, but is also reminiscent of other science fiction movies where you step through, mirrors or gates, or, Stargate has that with the water. They clearly use that same imagery here. Also, stepping through something that looks like water, again, could signify baptism, rebirth, etc., new life. This is a different room. Here we see Trinity again. He's holding her hand. This is a workshop. And we see a motorbike, and we know, of course, that Trinity loves to ride on motorbikes. So this is clearly where this is probably not where she works, because when we first see her in this trailer, she's very, probably has a good job and everything. Maybe this is a side hobby. He's holding her hand, and I can't really tell, but it's almost as if. But this may be just a suggestion that she's pregnant or something like that, or Anyway, and there's the light again. There's the sunlight shining on both of them. So again, they both now see the light. She too has to be awakened. She has to join him in this resurrection. That's why he takes her hand. This time, you see, there's no longer, the shackle is no longer there. The bracelet is no longer there. There are slight traces of the matrix, of the code running through her veins. So maybe she's just a program. Maybe she's just a digital recreation of the Trinity that he knows. But why is she there? What's the purpose of that? I think those are mysteries that the movie will have to reveal to us. But I love how they did the visual effect where she's clearly still being generated. It almost looks like tears also. From there, we step into, this is clearly a simulation. This looks, again, like a video game. It looks fake. The camera movement is way too fast to be real. So this is probably a simulation like the ones that Morpheus was able to conjure up once Neo was freed from his virtual prison. The dojo is clearly inside of a lake. Again, water, rebirth, River Jordan, etc. And he's being attacked. Again, Morpheus is wearing these beautiful red robes. Red pill, red robes. The rest looks very much like the samurai, Eastern martial arts type of setting that we know from the existing movies. And he is, this time, able to completely block the attack without a problem. So this is Neo, who I know he knows karate. I know karate. Whoa. Sorry about that. I had to do that. And I'm surprised at how much this younger actor actually looks like Lawrence Fishburne. And I think is a pretty convincing Morpheus. Another attack. More fighting. And then he's not using karate anymore. He's using like his Neo powers. He controls the Matrix, so he knows how to reprogram reality around what he wants. And so his powers are super destructive. And I don't think that Morpheus realized this. He clearly is a little bit surprised there. And whoa, you see this massive explosion on the water. Beautiful shot again. Wow, this looks amazing. Again, I love all these golden hues here. That's definitely a new color palette inside, well, in the movie language of the Matrix. This Christmas. And then finally we get to see the machine world with the red glow of reality, which actually is the red glow of all these machines. We see the towers with all the cocoons where they're still apparently harvesting humans for their energy. We see the lightning, you know, the discharges of electricity, and these are the insects that are controlling the individual persons, making sure that they are still plugged into the Matrix. So maybe here we see the harvesting robots. They look exactly the same, so it means that basically the machine world is still there. We see all the cocoons. This looks very, very cool. Definitely even better than in the first few movies, where I thought they already did a tremendous job. The Matrix movies didn't age a day. If you go back, the special effects still blow me away. All right. And this is the discarded part of reality, where we see the Nebuchadnezzar, or at least a ship that looks like it. So this is the part of reality that the machines have abandoned. Maybe this is also the remains of what's left of the Earth. And then we're back in the Matrix. They're on the rooftop again. The golden glow. This is golden hour. They both have seen the light. They're ready to jump into reality, into their future, or whatever you want to call it. This, of course, is one of the most quintessential tests of Neo's resolve in the first movie, where he has to jump off this skyscraper to show that he believes that it's not real, and that jumping off a skyscraper cannot kill you. And so here, both of them are going to make the jump, because this time Trinity is not ahead of Neo. She is actually the one who is now awakened by Neo. So it's the opposite of the story they tell in the first movie. Let's see. Then we got another chase scene at night. We have the White Rabbit character running away. So this might be another, rooftop. Lots of acrobatics. I love this. Clearly, the agents are still there, and they're taking over these police officers, just like the first movie. We see Neo threatened in the rain again. Who is shooting at him? Almost looks like the psychologist, but it's probably just an agent. Or maybe the psychologist is an agent. Who knows? This is intriguing. Here we see the agents, or at least these are, of course, the virtual representatives of the machine, entering a room. There's clearly an old-fashioned building. You see some pillars there, and there is a movie screen that they're tearing apart, and on the screen, I think, is The Matrix play. That's the movie The Matrix playing, or at least something similar. So it's someone who is awakened from a Matrix session inside the Matrix being unplugged. What if the movies are, in this story, supposed to be a Matrix inside the Matrix? I don't know. That's why I love this story. Oh, wow, we got a train sequence. I also did not notice that when at first viewing. Let me go back here. So, Okay, so here is a train. We see some more bullets flying through the air, or something. Maybe it's a knife or something. You got some blossom outside. That's interesting. Also, rebirth, a new springtime. Maybe that's also on purpose. Yeah. Oh, this cherry blossom. So it's clearly a symbol of a springtime. This is I call her the White Rabbit character. I don't know what her name is, with the blue hair. And then Neo in the background. So again, blue and red. You see someone with a mask on. That's interesting. So, is COVID part of the Matrix? Wow. Okay. Then we see him fighting an elderly lady. Well, not really old, but a slightly older Asian lady. Maybe this is another key carrier. Someone who is able to open doors. I don't know. This is Morpheus in a, again, golden suit. What's this with the color orange, golden, yellow? There is a meaning to this. I don't know what. Anyway, this is not Morpheus in his black attire. And he is clearly mad. We got a big explosion. And then there is, again, such a great image of someone awakening from the Matrix. But this is not Keanu Reeves, as far as I can tell. Doesn't look like, well, of course, there's not the hair. So who knows? But what if, I'm just, again, let me know in the comments what you think. What if the digital Neo awakens in the real world in the body of someone else? What if the Matrix is able to take hold of another body, of reality, and morphing it? So that would be insane. You would have another actor. Then again, I don't know if if that makes sense when you look at Hollywood contracts, etc. Would Keanu Reeves want to be played by another actor for half of the movie? I don't know. Anyway, but this is an awakening scene. It looks slightly different from the awakening that we see in the first movie. A little bit sleeker, less gritty. But it's the same idea. Here we see Trinity fighting, finally. Again, same agents that she's fighting in the first movie. And we know that she's up to the task. And here this is probably another moment. She's freaking out. Maybe this is also her awakening, or she realizes that there are many different versions of her. If the Matrix is cyclical and this is just another incarnation of the same story or the same reality, maybe this is what we see, that she realizes that, who am I in this? I don't know. There's definitely symbolism in this splitting up in different characters. Again, this is where Morpheus is awakening. You see that? He is touching the mirror. maybe this is at the beginning of the story. Maybe he too will be resurrected and will realize that the one he is in the Matrix is not the real Morpheus. Because he clearly is surprised here. We get more fighting. We get another very cool jump. I love that they do the wire work again, which just did so much for the choreography in the existing movies. In the background, you see a flower stand. That's interesting. And then it says, "Do not pass. Do not pass. Do not cross the line. Do not pass the border of this virtual reality." Maybe. I think that every detail here is important and has a meaning. That's what I love about the Matrix. It's so chock full of little things. You can't stop yourself from watching it over and over again. All right. There is another motorbike. We see a door opening. I'm not sure who's kicked inside there. And here we get the camera's turning around. Maybe the set is also turning. They're doing the wall jumping. These are the actual identical agents from the first movies. Same glasses, same styles, same wardrobe. Yeah, they're definitely. And then this is another scene. Now I realize this. Jumping from a window, just like in, I think it's Trinity jumping from the window in this amazing effect sequence where she is hunted by the agents and jumps through the window. This person or this character has bare feet. So maybe this is... Oh, and there's another... Oh! Is that Morpheus? And that's the blue-haired girl. I can't really tell if that's Morpheus. And then this is another great... So visually, this is so much like the first Matrix movie. You got this underground... there are even... Notice the bathroom stuff there in the background, which is great if you want to smash someone's head. Preferably in the Matrix movies, they do that in bathrooms because it's more dramatic, I guess. So you got more flying around, probably more bullet time. Here you've got someone else using these powers. I suppose it's Neo. Here he's stopping the bullets with his hands, just like in the first movie. So this is clearly a sign that he controls the Matrix again. There is a second person standing next to him. Maybe that is Trinity. Yeah, it is Trinity. So he's holding... Here we have another motorbike. Even though that may be Morpheus on top, sitting on the motorbike. I don't think it's Trinity. Oh, here there are two people on the motorbike, so this may just be Neo and Trinity. Lots of explosions. This looks so spectacular. Yep, she's driving. Again, helicopters. Also, first Matrix movie. You know, the big helicopter scene. This time they're firing rockets. Oh, and he's using his powers to thwart the missile and to launch it back into the helicopter. You see a little bit of San Francisco in the background. And boom, there we go. Spectacular. And then they jump. And notice he's wearing his coat, his black coat again. And she's also now in leather. So they start to look throughout this trailer, they are more and more becoming the Trinity and the Neo that we knew. So they're becoming themselves. And there they jump. This scene is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Again, sunset. Is this now that I think of it, could the sunset symbolize the sunset of the Matrix? Are we in the final phase of the existence of this machine world concoction? Is that what it signifies? Is this world sunsetting? I jump off. Or it's just because it looks amazing, which it does. Here we're back at the psych, I think. And then this guy has taken off his glasses, or is this someone else? I'm not sure now. Well, this may be his boss. I have to go back and rewind, but I don't think this is the same character as a psychologist. Maybe this is just like in the first movie where he has to confront his boss, and his boss is actually part of the, of the machine ploy to keep him imprisoned. Who knows? And then we've got the code coming up, the Matrix. Oh, golly, Resurrections. So cool. In theaters, December the 22nd, 2021. I'll be ready for this. I thought this was going to be like a 3-minute video. My apologies, it's been a little bit longer, but you may have noticed that I am a little bit excited about this. And this trailer was stunning, absolutely stunning. I'm glad that I've been able to share it with you. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this stuff, you want to see more of my reactions, please subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. I'm Father Roderick, signing off, and see you next time.